Bueno, let a couple people get in here. What's up with it, man? Shout out to the Denver Metro. Shout out to everybody out there. What's up with all my riders, man? So, tap in, check it out. We're gonna talk right now. We're gonna talk about a couple different things. You guys give me your honest opinions about this too. Put this on the big screen. There we go. So, I got hit with multiple messages from subs, people I knew. They send me links. They send me different things because people know that I did a previous video of this topic. And I wasn't even going to talk about this topic actually, but somebody had sent me a direct part of the interview where the youngster FBP Moe talks about people trying to get clout off of his situation. Now, there's been multiple people that did the story about the FBP, and I had ran a couple videos about the situation, the indictment, everything that was going on. And first and foremost, let me say this. Before this even happened with these fools, I actually liked the music. I said this shit multiple times. I actually was, if you want to be 100, I actually supported the music because I thought the sound was excellent for the city of Denver. I actually was proud of these young men for getting some shine all across the United States, really, because their music was actually blowing across the city. Now, all the time that I looked at this music, though, I knew there was a downfall. You want to know why I knew there was a downfall? Because every song was about on demon time. Every song was talking about applying pressure. And they were showing a lot in these videos talking about different things, and it came back to bite them in the ass. Now, the situation is their shit got shut down because they was playing the gangster role. And when it's time to actually face up and face the reality of what gang life brings, it crumbled fast. Now, youngsters, all you young ones that think that gangbang is cool, learn off the mistakes of other people. Now, there's a part in this interview where they talk about trying to get clout off these fools. And vloggers getting clout off these fools and trying to, you know what I'm saying, rebirth their stripes. In this day and age, bro, 2024, this is not the time to get stripes. To all the little homies out there, to all you little fools, this is not the era to get stripes. You're in this era's terrible to try to beat any kind of gangster. Gangsterism, it died out a long time ago. I'm sorry to tell you, all the 2024 babies and 2020s, it died out because there's no code. And when there's no code, there's not really a structure and there's not really politicking because everybody's doing everything. Everybody's snitching. When you put stuff out there on camera, you're actually dry snitching on what's really going on. And you're letting civilians that don't even know about hood life, you're letting them know what's going on. When they started putting stuff on camera and there's cameras out there catching, you can't be in these streets no more because you're going to get snitched on. And all these fools that portray this life, bro, they're out here snitching. Your favorite rappers that you guys think is gangsta, they're out here snitching. You see it all over because there's no more code. So we're gonna react to the interview. And like I said, I wasn't even gonna do it. My homie, Go Getter, he did a reaction too. Go check out his video, and he stated some serious facts. And what he said, 100% complete, is that individuals like us that we try to open the eyes to the youngsters. We have a duty to show youngsters what trying to be gangster is, bro, and what it leads to. We have a duty. And we can talk about this shit because we lived it 100% and we conquered that shit. And now we're trying to be successful and we're still here. But this is the reality, homie. Like I always said, you're going to die behind these streets that you try to play in, or you're going to be in the prison for the rest of your life behind these streets that you try to play in. Because the streets is trash, homie. Being a gangster is trash. It's overrated. The homie said it right there, but I know what he's talking about. I'm just saying gangsterism, overrated, people. It is. And if you're really don't have a generational aspect and you really didn't grow, why the fuck you choose to try to be a part of that shit, bro? You know yourself. You know in your heart if you really about some shit, homie. If you really have in your heart to be a rider, if you have a heart, because a lot of these fools don't have heart like that, bro. They suckers, bro. A lot of these fools will turn to a pistol and kill somebody because they don't know how to fight. These fools just turning down fades left and right. All these little fools talking about chipping fools off. Where's it wrong to actually go fight somebody and live another day? People don't want to have them losses on their resume as youngsters, and so these older fools ain't teaching and lacing up the shoelaces. So let's take a dive into this interview, man. All right. So Moe High Minute, shout out to his channel. If we can get it. Let me see real quick. All right, let's see real quick. Shout out to him. Go sub up his channel. He's a blogger out of Colorado.
How's everything going? What's the average day-to-day life like in there, man?
I just be working out and just trying to, just stay focused on.
First thing I'm gonna say to this, homie. Yeah, stay working out. Stay working out because you got a long road ahead of you, homie. Stay on your fitness. Do burpees. That's what you should focus in on. You shouldn't even right now. You should be focusing in on yourself, not getting out trying to take over the rap game. Still, you got a lot of time. You better get your mental right. Let's give some advice on that. Use your time to get your mental right, your body right, your physical, your spiritual. Forget all the rap shit. It's down the road. It's played out. And right now, you're not even close to actually doing music to try to take over no shit. Forget the music aspect. You better get your mind right before anything, homie.
My music and just taking it day by day, like I said, bro. You know what I mean? It's a whole nother world in here, so I really just be in my own lane and just be on the phone all the time with my family and shit. You know how it is.
You been working out a lot, you said?
Yeah, I be working out. I mean, I'm actually Sally's with my dad and shit, so we be working out together and shit. It's cool. It's a
you know,
passion, you know.
One thing I'll say about that is homie got to the aspect where his pops is. And like the homie Go Getter said, his pops got a little bit of respect. That's what's holding this little dude down. His pops is gonna go 100% to war for his son, right? Right now, that's what's holding this little youngster down. He better count his blessing on that shit. But in prison, we all know every day can be different. You can get moved out right away. Daddy's not always going to be there, bruh. So right now, count your blessings, little homie. Count your blessings.
I mean, it's crazy because, you know what I mean? Me and my dad are together, but it's a blessing.
Like your full blood dad?
Yeah, like my blood dad, like me and him are Saudis. Like as we speak right now, we actually on lockdown, but yeah, we Saudis right now.
Oh, okay. Shit, well, that's good. At least you know what I'm saying, got so.
Hopefully his dad keeps him on the right. Hopefully his dad keeps him on the right path. Hopefully his pops keeps him on the right path. Because we know when he was not with his pops, he left the yard. And not good standings with people. He left the yard, right? The pressure was being applied and there was no pressure. He left the yard. We heard it from multiple people. He left the yard. So he got to where he's good with his pops, but that don't last forever. And every good thing comes to an end. So hopefully his dad is running down game to his son and letting him know he got to get his mind right. Leave the streets alone. Leave it alone. This is what it brings.
Someone to talk to and you know, chill out with. So could you kind of tell us about, you know, what it's like trying to, have you been able to make music, you know, behind bars, or how have you been able to kind of, I guess, have an impact on your career, you know, behind bars?
I've been trying to write here a little bit and shit. You know, it's been hard to find a little motivation lately, but I do have a lot of shit that's unreleased. So I'm just like really planning on dropping this shit that's unreleased. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You said it's hard to find motivation behind there?
Yeah, you know what I mean? I just be trying to get, you know what I mean, used to all this shit, you know, it's stuff, but I just try to get my mind right and shit, you know what I mean?
Right. No, that's good. I know, you know, when we did interviews before, you talked about NBA Youngboy being one of your biggest influences. Is there anyone you're currently listening to a lot?
NBA Youngboy. Probably why this youngster's in that predicament, because I think NBA Youngboy is on that drill shit too. I think all them fools and there's a responsibility on these rappers. These rappers got these youngsters amped up to actually face some shit they ain't ready for, because these rappers are doing it. But the fact of the matter, to these youngsters, they don't know that these rappers ain't really about that life. That's why when shit hits the fan, these rappers are snitching. So when they're idolizing their rapper buddies, the fools that they look up to, these rappers are saying an example, it's okay to snitch. Look at all these fools, these rappers, bro, that snitched. And now everybody's playing this snitch culture and thinking it's cool because these rappers snitched. Oh, they snitched, so we are allowed to snitch. That's why the rules of the game is terrible. The game is terrible. There's no more code to it, man. There's no more code. There's nothing left of it. We trying to get out of this shit, and fools is trying to stay stuck in this shit. Real G's trying to find ways out of this shit. That's just the reality. If I could take my family out of the metro, every toxic aspect, I would. And you got little fools trying to be a part of this shit. Because some older fools, they just along with it. They just along for the ride. If there's some money coming in, they loving that shit. They're not preaching, hey, stay out of this shit.
Any shit, movies or anything that's kind of influencing you or inspiring you?
I be bumping, because we got the tablets in here and shit, so I be bumping like all the Louisiana rappers I be listening to on the outside and stuff, and I bump a lot of Youngboy, and I bump Tupac.
The homie needs to bump some Christian rap. He need to go learn some worship songs. He need to go learn some worship songs, bro. He need to get his life right with God. Learn some worship music. Forget bumping all these rappers, man. Learn some worship music. You gotta get your life right, bro.
You know what I mean? Really just Louisiana rappers. That's all I really listen to.
Okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense. What do you feel like's been the most challenging part of your career so far?
Yeah, I would say just being locked up and going through this situation that I'm going through, because I'm just, you know, I'm trying to be a father, you know what I mean? And because I just had.
See, that's a sad situation right there, bro. I'm trying to be a father. You can't be a father from behind lockup. That's the cold reality. He obviously knew he was going to have a kid. You got to choose. You got to choose your path wisely. You got to set up success for your people, for the next generation, your kids. You can't be out there playing with fire, because you are going to get burned. You will get burned. Reality, little youngster got burned and now he's doing time. You know where everybody else is? A lot of them fools, they're on the streets. They're on the streets doing them. They don't care about this dude no more. Out of sight, out of mind. Where's all the homies? It's just wild, bro.
And my daughter, when I was on the run, she was born and stuff. So,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Just really being locked up is the hardest situation I'm dealing with right now.
Right. Congratulations on becoming a father, man. How's that?
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate it, guys. I actually just got to hold her too, you know, a couple of weeks ago at my first visit, and it was amazing, man. It's being a father is amazing.
That's dope, man. I'm happy for you. That's good though. That's a girl dad. That's good. Which of your songs do you feel like means the most to you now in your current position, and why?
Well, I got to look at, I release it, and I protect my craft with, you know what I mean?
Moe, High Min and Marada. Moe, High Min and Marada. What song means the most? Honestly, I'm telling you the truth, Moe, High Min. This dude is not worrying about what song means the most, because the songs, they played a part. The system seen these music. They talked about this dude being a rapper, and every song he's chipping people off. Every song he's applying pressure. So that shouldn't mean anything to him no more. That should be in the past. He should be doing a whole different type of switch in his life. None of that, none of the past songs. I don't think he's worried about that shit. Moe, High Min. You should have asked him, what journey is he gonna take with music? Is he gonna start doing different type of music, maybe more positive music?
So all the shit that I have, you know, I think I sent you a couple songs, but you know,
yeah.
I just like all my new shit that I created, but at the same time, you know, all the shit I have on my YouTube already, I like where that got me. You know what I mean? Like that got me to where I'm at today.
Right.
So you know what I mean? I appreciate the music that I've already created because you know it got me further. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it opened up a lot of avenues. You know what I mean?
Right. No, that makes sense. Do you have any, I know you said you got a lot of unreleased. Do you have any like projects on the way or any expected dates, you know, for it to drop or anything like that?
Well, see, I'm trying to conserve all the unreleased shit that I have right now. You feel me? But
right.
I'm planning on dropping maybe like a five track beat tape or something. You know what I mean? Because I want to conserve it as best as I could and give it to my fans and stuff. But
right.
You know what I mean? I'm planning on dropping a couple singles too soon.
Okay. Do you have a lot of unreleased music?
Yeah. I mean, I got a fair amount, I would say. You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay. That's good. What was it like growing up in Denver, and how has the city influenced your music?
Yeah, I mean, growing up in Denver is, you know what I mean? It's like how everyone is, you know, everyone takes pride of being from Denver and stuff. You know what I mean? My family's homegrown and shit, you know, on my dad's side and my mom's side. It's there's a time.
So I gotta say something, and this is why it's so critical for people to teach their younger family members. I went to my grandpa right here, rest in peace, Kenny Garcia. We did his funeral today, right? And I see my younger cousins, and my younger cousins are following the footsteps of every older cousin, every older uncle, everybody street, you know, affiliated. And there was no responsibility from the older people that taught them, the older people that were in their life. It's just all gangbanging politics. And obviously these little youngsters right here were taught from their older uncles and relatives and dads that it was cool to be in the streets. You know, there's a video with his mom in the videos when they're talking about drilling, like, you know, you have to have a responsibility to your nieces, nephews, cousins, kids, and teach them that life's not the life to actually go down that road. There's nothing that you're going to benefit. You're not going to gain nothing. It's full of snakes. It's full of hardships. And these dudes had all the talent to do music. And I'm not hating whatsoever. But my duty is to open eyes to other youngsters. This is what it brings, bro. This dude just got stretched. And he got a lot of time on his hands now because he wanted to live that gangster life. You know? And it was on the duty of the family. I feel like a lot of times it's on the duty of the family.
I had a good time, you know what I mean? But I love the hood, I love the Denver, you know what I mean? And I love where I'm from, and I've always been proud of being from Denver and nowhere else, you know what I mean?
Right, right. Do you have you been able to kind of stay tapped into what's going on with the hip hop scene out here right now, or is it kind of tough? You kind of focus on your own stuff.
I mean, I know it feels like a long time since I've been gone, but I think I'm pretty head to the scene still, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. No, for sure.
But you feel me? You know what I mean? There's some talent, you know what I mean? But you know what I mean? I just feel like it's still out for grabs, and you know, I'm gonna be on soon, so you know, when I get out there, you feel me?
It's kind of crazy, man, because you hear that from a lot of people that get, you know, everybody has the aspect they're getting out before they are. I'm getting out soon. This time he caught is fresh. So like the homie has said, and Go Getter, he said there's rappers coming up, and your time, like especially with the music game, it comes and goes. You gotta latch on it when it's your time. And to be honest, it's going to be hard to actually catch up to what they had going on. He had his time. The shine was there. They were making a buzz. They were making a name for Colorado, Denver, Colorado. That's one thing why Savage Sev is so irritated with it, because they had a chance to put the city on the map. They had a chance to put the state on the map for the box state. And when he gets out, he's going to be older, and there's going to be a lot of new artists out here in Colorado. A lot of people trying to get their name. There's a lot of artists coming out on a regular basis. On a regular basis, you hear new rappers every day. It's going to be hard to rekindle that flame. I learned from being around a Rapo Trues. They let the time slip, and they never could rekindle that a Rapo Trues original rhyme core hip hop blues all the way. That first album was their time. But you play in the streets, you block your blessings. You play in the streets, you block your blessings.
I'm taking everything that, you know what I mean? I'm taking everything that I need to get, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, man. Do you how did you feel when the indictment hit the news? You know, like what was kind of going through your mind?
Man, I'm gonna tell you what, bro. It's never easy. It's a lot of emotions, and you know, I kind of already knew it was gonna happen because you hear a lot of speculation in the hood and shit. You know what I mean? And it was something more I knew it was coming, but I just didn't want to believe it. You know what I mean? Because a lot of shit wasn't true. You know what I mean?
Right. And then, you know, obviously it was big news locally, but then nationally, you know, 1090 Jake picked it up, and you know, he has a pretty big YouTube platform. What was your opinion on that video? Did you feel like that was crazy, man?
And 1090 Jake broke this news. I remember when he first broke this news, and he's not from Colorado, and he did say some outrageous shit. He was saying different hoods was messing with each other, you know, and that's how you know, like with YouTube, people get content to just put content out there and not really know the facts. He just put content about some Denver shit he didn't even know. It really irritated me because he started saying about politics out here in Denver, which is not true whatsoever. And they stated a lot of false shit on 1090 Jake's shit about this case, you know? So I understand where he's mad about that, definitely.
Because I watch a lot of interviews myself, and just seeing him talk about, you know, my family, my lifestyle, and everything. You know, a lot of shit was misconstrued and not true. You feel me? But
yeah,
you know what I mean. It was good to see that recognition, even though it was kind of bad recognition. But all publicity.
Nah, that's not that. I don't know why the mindset is like that. All recognition is good recognition, even if it's bad. It's good recognition. Nah, bro. Nah, I don't agree with that. That's terrible. That's terrible advice. Even bad recognition is good recognition. Nah, that was a smut on your name, your family's name. That's not good recognition. So that right there just goes to show you, as long as there's some attention coming a person's way, they're okay with that shit. That's like the Island Boys kissing each other and saying the recognition Good recognition is good. They kissed each other and got millions of people to view the Island Boys kissing each other. That's not good recognition. What the hell? Like the homie said, Hollywood, sell your ass. Go to these P. Diddy's, just get some recognition. Go be gay for the stay. Go be gay for the night just to get some recognition. Yeah, that's a crazy mindset right there. You'll sell your ass for some views and attention.
Publicity, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and,
no, I hear you.
It's just, I don't know, bro. A lot of shit wasn't true, you know what I mean? But I know he was going off what he was just reading in the Indictment and shit. But, you know what I mean? It's, you know, hopefully when I get out, I can be able to just speak my truth with him on his platform too, you know what I mean?
Right. And that's
it's just pretty much, you know, FBP ain't quick up with nobody like that. And you know, if I can't usher them, then them niggas ain't FBP or no, you know what I mean? That's just what it is, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I feel like this interview is important just because, you know, people want to hear the fans want to hear your opinion on, you know, that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you, you know, coming on the platform and just letting the people know your side of things. You know what I'm saying?
My thing is, okay, I was actually a fan of the music. So I supported the music. So let me know. I would like to know this question. Why did you go from No Pressure, the music, and really putting it out there? We was listening to this shit. Okay, we seen some talented shit in the streets. But when it came to the county and the shit popped off and there's that video, I want to know why you just didn't handle your business as a person that supported your music. 1090 should have asked that. What's up with that? What's up with that video right there? Not 1090, but Mall High Minute. What's up with that video right there? What's up with Ain't No Pressure? We love that song. Yeah, man. Fools was vibing to that, you know. And then when the county hit and, you know what I'm saying, you're telling the judge there's a restraining order. The pressure was applied on your head. And where did it go? Where did you go wrong with that? Where did you go left with that? I want to know, you know?
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. Bro, I just want to say this too. You know, you opened some doors for me too. And every time, you know, a famous person or a celebrity or whatever came to the city, you always gave me that recognition, bro. And I appreciate that. And you always kept me, you know, you always kept my fans tapped in, and you always showed me love, bro. And that's why I'm doing this with you. You know what I mean? That's why I'm doing this interview because, you know what I mean? You've been scratching scratch your back, and you know what I mean. I appreciate you, bro, and what you've been doing for us, you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, it's love, man. I appreciate it. And you know, people always ask me when they interview me, they always ask me how, like, you know, why I decided to interview y'all and how y'all blew up and shit. And I was like, man, like, you know, when it comes to music and everything, they was going crazy, and you can't deny that. So you know, it's the respect is always mutual, man.
So one thing I want to ask about that too, there was a time when these dudes could have blew up, bro. Like there was a time when they were doing stuff with, you know, Stupid Young and different fools in the game, and they were networking. How did nobody see this and say, hey, you guys got to slow down, man? Let's make some bangers for the females. Let's slow down with all this craziness. If you're kicking up dust, let's slow down and stop bringing so much heat on ourselves. Where were the role models in these dudes' lives? Was everybody just so caught up and blinded by the fact that they were getting a little shine? Was everybody around them, even the grown-ups around them, were they just like caught up in what was going on and they were getting the shine? That's crazy to me, bro. Because to me, if I got a little young cousin and they're doing some music for the city and they really got the shine, and I see that they can go somewhere, I'm gonna be like, hey, let's do it professionally. Let's do this shit and really get this shit going where you're not gonna get caught up for anything. This is the ticket out the hood. You could take your family out the hood. Where were all the people? Because these were kids, bro. There had to be some accountability to older fools around them, bro. You know, these were young. When they first started this, they were kids. Where were the OG homies that had a rightful mind saying, hey, little youngsters, you guys got to stop doing this shit. Let's make this money. Let's get to this business. Let's get to this business act because you have the sound to blow. It seemed like there was nobody around them saying that, bro. Everybody was just caught up with the limelight.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Shout out.
You don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but like, what made you feel like you had to go on the run, and then like, what ended up happening with you? Did you turn yourself in, or what was your opinion on that?
I just say, like, man, what would any person do? You know what I mean? When people are taking years of your life away, you know what I mean, for a lot of sad situations involving your family. You know what I mean? Like, I was just, really just getting my P's and Q's together, and you feel me? It's just an unfortunate situation, and it's never easy. You know what I mean?
Right. It sounded like it was a tough decision to make. Did you?
Yeah, of course, and then especially, my baby girl. You know what I mean? My baby girl being, she was born when I was.
It's never easy when you make your bed and you got to sleep in that. It's never easy. But a lot of times people do it to themselves. A lot of times people do it to their self. It's never easy when you make a bed and you got to sleep in that shit. But actions, bro. Your actions will get you caught up for a lot of things. People don't think about their actions till it's all said and done. And now you are facing, a reality check that it got serious.
I was on the run and shit, so it's just a really tough situation, but you know what I mean? I know God got something planned for me, you know what I mean?
Right. Do you ever look back and wish you did things a little different in certain ways, or do you feel like everything kind of happened the way it was supposed to, or how do you look at it?
I say you live and learn, you know what I mean? Because I wouldn't regret anything I did, because I did a lot of good things for a lot of people, you know what I mean? And I wouldn't regret what I've done, but I just regret the company I kept, you know what I mean?
Right. Okay, I hear you. Your music got huge, and a lot of people felt like.
I mean, see, when I caught my case, I always said I wish I would have did stuff different. I took ownership of my situation and said, "Hey, man, I was out there running with my head cut off. You got to take ownership. Where's the accountability? Where's the accountability? You got to take ownership. You have to learn and say, hey, I wish I never had done that and went down that road. There has to be some type of aspect of, I regret it, them actions. The only reason why people are sorry is sometimes because they get caught up. They get caught up for their situations. And that's when they, they become empathetic. But yeah, it's crazy, bro. It's wild.
Like, you were already putting Denver on the map when it comes to hip hop, so there's no you getting around that. That's already stamped. But a lot of people felt like you were very close to becoming like a mainstream star, touring and stuff. Do you ever feel like maybe you wish you would have went a little harder at the music, or do you feel like you went as hard as you could, or what's your opinion on that?
Yeah, like, I could understand that, because from the outside looking in, people could be like, Mo really doing this thing, he was about to make it and shit, and I was, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like I still am gonna make it, but when you're in my shoes, it's a hard, when you're in my shoes, it's just
it's a different perspective.
It's not easy. It's not easy with all the responsibility that I go through, and you got street problems, you got cop problems.
The homie, what's up, my homie? Rallick, what's good with you, bro? Walk a day in my shoes, man. That's what that basically. It's not easy, I just look at it like this, man. When you become something that you actually are an example, you have an aspect of responsibility to different things, right? And when you are up there, you have the light on you. But that's what comes with the territory of that aspect, man. That's what comes with the territory of being, somebody that got a little bit of shine. It was all good in games when you had that shine. It was all gravy when you had that shine. When that heat hit and the pressure was on the neck, that's when, you know, the aspect of you can't walk a day in the shoes. But there's a lot of people, bro. You had it made for you. That's what I don't understand if he understands. He had it made for him because there were so many people that love that music, including me. I thought the music was pretty dope. So many people. And they could actually took it to another aspect. Hopefully nobody walks a day in your shoes, because I hope nobody gets caught up. It was moving sloppy. They didn't focus on the business. They focused on being streets, which it was like an imagery, like the streets are cool, bro. It's a fad to be in the streets. When they could have just focused in on the music and made a wave for Denver. Made the wave for Denver. Definitely.
And it's hard to focus. It's like easier said than done. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I hear you.
It's easier said than done because, you know, people want the glitz and glamour and don't want the everything that comes with being a rap star and shit. But the shit that comes with this shit is like, you know, it can take its toll.
Let's see real quick what he say.
Problems, you got cop problems, and it's hard to focus. It's like easier said than done. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I hear you.
It's easier said than done because, you know, people want the glitz and glamour and don't want the everything that comes with being a rap star and shit. But the shit that comes with this shit is like, you know, it can take its toll on you mentally, physically, all that. You know what I mean? And you know, it takes, bro. You feel me? Like
it takes a toll on you when you start going through these problems. But when you're out there, it's not really taking a toll on you. You're living that aspect at that moment. When you feel like you're immortal, see, this is the thing. People in their minds become superstars, become bigger than they are, bigger than the program. That's the truth. And they don't think they can get touched. They don't think they can get touched. At that time, you on top of the game. At that time, you're on top of everything because you got a little bit of shine off the music and you think you're a rap star. At that time, you're not thinking about that shit. This is the truth. But when it cracks off and now shit hits the fan, now I go through a gang of shit. Now it's on my neck. You put yourself out there to be that person. Of course, everybody's gonna put you're out there in the public, bruh. Of course, everybody's seeing this. And then if you're getting shine, you're hearing about it from other people. Oh, look at these fools putting it down. Oh, gangster. And I'm going to say like this, too. This is the reality, too. A lot of the fans out here, a lot of you fans out here, you feed these dudes egos and you put them on a pedestal. And really, they become gods to themselves. They become bigger than the program. And they think that they can't get touched. And unfortunately, the worst one is dying, right? But this is being touched. This right here, homie going to the prison, he got touched by that system. And now you can't walk a day in my shoes. There's a lot of people that go through a lot of shit, but their mindsets change. They learn a lot. They learn by their mistakes, definitely.
I lost a lot more, you know what I mean? But I know when I get out, you feel me? I'm gonna take whatever's mine, you know what I mean?
No, that's real. How long before you think you'll be home?
What you say? My bad, I can't hear you.
You good? How long do you think before you'll be home?
The homie High Min said that like he got word that this dude might be out in 2 weeks. This fool just he's a new number. This fool's wet behind the ears with the number. He has a lot of time. I guarantee he's gonna do some time on that yard. And like I said, hopefully he could stay with Pops this whole time. But when he goes and he don't have that comfort, the blanket wrapped around him, he's going to have to politic. He's going to have to program. And that's where it gets hard. You know, his dad got a little bit of, you know, respect. But you're not always going to have that blanket to cover you and protect. So he's going to have to stand on his feet. And what we know so far, what we seen, it was hard. It was a hard situation. That pressure was applied, and there's a video that came out. You know, definitely.
Shit, man, sooner than you think, man. I'm still, you know what I mean? I got a non-violent case, so you feel me? Sooner than you think, Brody.
Okay. Are there any upcoming like collaborations with other artists you want to work with, or we can expect to be on the lookout, or anything like that? Or you kind of just got mostly like solo music?
Yeah, it's just mostly solo.
Ryder.
You feel me? Because I don't want nobody. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I really want to just come out. You know what I mean? Killing it on my own, doing everything the right way. You feel me?
Right. When you say you don't, when no one, was it just like you kind of learned a lot through this whole situation, or?
That's a main reason for sure. But
so basically, he said he don't mess with anybody. Not one person from FBP, from the clique. I mean, like the homie said, is it that they don't mess with you, or is it you don't mess with them? Maybe they had to analyze that situation and be like, I can't mess with that. Because when you have stuff documented out there, like the situation in court, it's gonna eat at people's insight, especially if they have any real, like, I can't mess with that shit. I know for me, if one of my homies had anything like that, I'm gonna be like, yeah, I gotta back away from that shit. I gotta separate, you know. But I in this whole video, I don't hear no accountability for anything, really, to be honest. You know, I don't.
I just feel like I just need to be on. I need to take care of myself and be there for myself. You know what I mean? Before I try to help anyone else or be around anyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I hear you. What can your fans?
You know, though, that's why it's people playing, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I hear you.
That's what that means. You know what I mean? So.
Right. What can your fans expect from your upcoming music that's unreleased? Is it pretty similar to your old music, or does it have like new styles and stuff like that? Or
You saying what could they expect from the new shit?
Yeah. Like, is it similar to your old music, or is it different? How, like, what can the people expect?
It's on a whole nother level. I feel like, because before all this shit happened, I feel like I was in the booth a lot. I was in the studio a lot, and I perfected my craft on what I want to sound like. So the shit
that's
that
crazy,
I do
bro.
have that's unreleased, I feel like I pushed my voice, I pushed my talent, and what I'm about to drop is just way harder than the shit I have on YouTube. Like, a lot of people give me credit about what I have on YouTube already, and that's love, and that's all love. You know what I mean? And I'm really thankful for that. But before this shit happened, man, I had some shit that I get into my own little element, and I just feel like I sound different. I don't sound like nobody. You feel me? I sound like who I am. You know what I mean? Something that's never been heard in Denver, and I just can't wait to like show people that, because I feel like I got a lot of good music. You know what I mean?
Right.
Music and what I have on my YouTube already.
Okay. So we looking forward to that. Did you ever have any labels reach out to you or anything like that?
See, that's another thing too, bro.
Well, yeah, before all this happened too, I was with GT Digital and
Riders, are you hearing what this dude just said? He had big people reaching out to him. I mean, that should be enough for me. If there's a way out, bro, and it's business people reaching out to me, separate yourself, homie. Separate yourself from what you think is fun and games, is that street life. There's multiple things that were signs, bro. He was having a kid. He had big people reaching out to him. He had a sound that could have took Denver to another level. And he could have been the wave, and he still just played in the streets, an aspect of pretend streets, really, to be honest, because that's the thing is, bro, it wasn't even that really. I mean, once people start dying, it's very serious, definitely. Once people start dying, it's serious. But the first couple aspects of your family, if you really ain't in them trenches and there's you know, multiple aspects of no give back or none. And you know, you're playing, you got to let that shit go. You got to let shit go because you're going to put yourself in a trap, and it's going to be a trap like a spider web where it's too sticky. And you're realizing all this shit could have came, your dreams could have came true. If this is what you were about, the music, you could have actually did something for the prosperous of yourself and really made some millions off your music. But every song was just glorifying the streets, man. And it's sad, bro, because all that talent's wasted.
Empire.
Right. Okay.
And I had signed a distribution deal right before all this unfortunate situation and stuff.
Oh man,
that wasn't enough to make you leave the streets.
So you know, I still got it. Shit, you know, I'm still figuring shit out. It's just, it's been rough. You know what I mean? Dealing with all this shit, you know, with my daughter and you know, trying to, you know what I mean, see what's up with my family and shit. And it's just been a lot, bro. So I haven't been able to focus on my career as much as I want to. You know?
Right. No.
Now he wants to focus on doing that time.
A big name in prison ain't easy. You feel me? So.
Right. Yeah, I was gonna say, you know, a lot of people blogged about like what happened when you got to prison on YouTube. Like, is there anything you want to say about that, or you know, just from your perspective, like what you think?
Yeah, I just say, like, you know what I mean, like, hey, you know, what happens in prison stays in prison. If people want to run to the internet,
what happens in prison stays in prison. Nah, like the homie said, it follows you. It's everywhere. You are like, you know, you are a person that is shining light with the music aspect. Of course, all eyes are going to be on everything you do, especially when 98% of your music was gangbanging, homie. And people followed you they followed you to the aspect where they seen it crumble in their face. And of course, that's going to be put out there. It's going to be put out there to the public because a lot of people, they wanted to see how that shit played out. And unfortunately, there's a video, homie. There's a video out there, bro, where you're talking to a judge. The judge had to tell you to be quiet. You know why the judge told you how to be quiet? Because of the simple fact is it came off that you were telling too much. If a judge is telling you, hey, if your lawyer was here, don't speak, you have to understand, bro, like what it looks like to the public, you know? Let's hear what he says. Let's hear the rest of what he says.
Or whatever, I think you should just say the truth. You know what I mean? About, you know, all sides of the story, because there's also two sides to the story. And I just think.
But the thing about it is, too, is that not everybody is a fool that's doing music, that's putting it out there, that there's all sides to every story. The gangbangers you're talking about, the fools that don't like you, they're not rappers, bro. These fools are not rappers, and they didn't really have the shine that you had with the music. So fools ain't gonna even focus on that shit. Fools are gonna focus on FBP Moe and what happened with him, because he was the one that had the limelight with music and everything was about gangster shit. They're gonna focus in on you. That's what comes with the territory when you actually do music. You got a little bit of shine. That's what comes with the territory, homie.
I think they should say more of the truth. You know what I mean? And,
yeah.
You know, I feel like I stood 10 toes down. And
I stood 10 toes down, bro. When you tell somebody in the system, a judge, homie, that you have a restraining order, that's not standing 10 toes down. Having a restraining order as a gangster is not standing 10 toes down. And then you talk about getting stabbed, not 10 toes down. Ain't no gangster in the world gonna ever say anything to the people. No, that's not standing 10 toes down. There was a lot of stress in your voice. There was a lot of fear in your voice. And yes, fear sometimes comes with the streets. Yeah, people are paranoid, this and that. But real G's, they move in silence. You would have got off. That's what real gangsters do. And that's the thing I was trying to stress. It doesn't matter if you were outnumbered. It doesn't matter if you were, you know what I'm saying, the enemies were 10 deep. You get off on the first fool. If you're really living that life, every real gangster is going to get off, regardless if you get packed out or not. It's the truth. And the thing about it is, when a person like me sees this shit, because I had to stand 10 toes. I see this shit and there's different things. I had to stand 10 toes down. It does frustrate me a lot because people play with this culture. People tend to play with this culture. Play with the culture people are dying for, doing prison time for, dead homies and all, homie. Playing with the culture that the real thoroughbreds are either dead or in prison for the rest of their life, and fools are playing with this culture. And then we see this, and we're trying to figure it out like puzzle pieces. Like, damn, fuck, bro. I'm trying to listen to lyrics. Like, damn, homie, these fools they was applying some pressure in the music, but damn, I seen this video, and I'm like, fuck, bro. Are you serious? It went from 5.2 seconds from being the riders, homie, because I really thought you were riders. I thought that whole count was riders. To now I'm seeing the county shit. I'm hearing about county. I'm seeing the video, and I'm like, damn, homie, how does somebody switch up 5.2 seconds? Real shit. And we're the bad guys for just covering. You know, this shit was everywhere. And it's our city, bro. We cover our city. It was everywhere. Everybody was talking about this shit. You know why? Because you were the dudes. You were the dudes. Everybody was talking about this shit. So why is motherfuckers surprised that people talk about this shit? This is a topic out of our city. That's what we do in the Colorado box state. We talk about this shit. Because this right here, what other states see, because, you know, 1090 Jake, he's talented. Other states are like, damn, Colorado fools, damn, them fools is snitching in counties. And what kind of gangsterism Colorado got? So it's a black eye on the whole state, bruh. That's why we talk about this shit.
And I feel like, you know what I mean, I did my thing no matter what, and they just run to the internet for that clout. You know what I mean?
And that's another thing. Run for the internet for clout, huh? Bro, the fools that talked about this shit, I am 40 years old. I don't give a fuck about no damn clout because I'm respected with mine. People that know me in these streets, I'm respected. What the fuck do I need clout for? I'm past due for some damn clout. Fuck clout. Homie, we're talking about some real situations and trying to open people's eyes. Young generation that thinks it's cool to do what you did. Clout? Homie, you fucking burn ass clout. We ain't definitely getting no clout off of fucking some youngsters, bro, that have some music. There ain't no clout off some rappers, bro. We gonna talk about the streets and we gonna keep it 100. Now, people get mad at that shit and say it's some trying to get some clout. We just talking about some real motherfuckers is talking about the real. That's all it is. And this was a crazy situation, bro.
People don't have clout, you know. People don't have clout, so they go run to the internet. You feel me? So, you know what I mean?
Well, everybody that has that same feeling don't got no clout. We need Moe to have clout. That's craziness, bro. Mile high salute. You know, this interview is long, man. We still have, if you guys want to check it out, unless you guys want to hear the whole interview, we could still talk about it. We could still talk about this, but it's a long ass interview. Let's see real quick.
You know, that's just what it is.
Yeah.
And you say the whole truth, because there's always two sides.
Right. What's it like?
You know what I mean? We ain't lost like that, so.
Yeah. I mean, you know, Denver hasn't really had too many big rappers, but you got, you know, pretty famous, you know, not just locally, but nationally. Like, what's it like dealing with, you know, having a name and being, you know, a major rapper and then getting locked up? Like, what's it like dealing with that?
Yeah, I mean, I ain't even gonna lie, man. I was just getting it in here, you know what I mean? And it's just, you know, me and my boss, we rock back to back and shit, and it's just, it sucks, bro, you know what I mean? Cause
I don't even know if I could actually do the rest of that interview, bro. You know, when it all boils down to it, homies, the community, everybody out there, you know, it's really a duty for people like me. That's my whole goal, homie. My whole goal is to, you know, show the next generation what shit brings. And this was a prime example out of our city and state. These fools had everything at the doorstep for them. They had a lot of people knowing who they were, and they were youngsters. And this is the thing, is like, we always talk about this shit, bro. You know, where were the mentors, homie? That maybe that's the duty of all this. Maybe this is there's a purpose to the other youngsters. This is what shit brings. This is the shit that this shit brings. When you play with that street life and you play with fire, this is what it brings. And unfortunately, nobody's there to bail you out. When it's all said and done, and you got some real shit cracking, ain't nobody going to be able to bail your ass out. You're going to have to deal with that shit. You're going to have to sleep in the bed you make. There ain't no calling mama, daddy, this and that and that and this. You're going to have to sleep, and you're going to have to deal with what comes with that shit. But when we were growing up, when I was growing up, unfortunately, we lived by the code where nothing was going to break that code. Snitching and telling anything to everybody, to anybody, telling anything that's going on with politics was a no-no, homie. You know why? Because it was very serious and there was a code, but the code crumbled. That's why I say 2024, it's the lamest year to try to be a gangbanger. The 20s, the late 20s, all this 20, since 20, it's been died out for a minute. But it's even worse now. Because you know why? Everybody is allowed to do what the fuck they want to do. And then when somebody talks about this shit, it's all about you trying to get clout. Nah, we trying to motherfucking open the eyes to different things, bruh. Because I don't want no youngster to go down that path. I don't want no youngster to go down that path. Because the reality is, bro, is that shit does not end once you're out of prison either. You think, man, a motherfucker that goes in when he's young and he does a stretch, your mental's fucked up for the rest of your life, homie. Especially if you do prison stay for extensive stay in prison. If you're on that yard for multiple years, your mental, you lose the mental aspect. It's going to fuck with this little dude forever. And unfortunately, it's going to fuck with him when he gets out. And it don't just fuck with jobs and getting jobs and this and that. It fucks with your rent, like where you can go get rent. You can't even fucking be a normal civilian because you got that over your neck. The journey don't stop after you're out of prison. You know, I haven't been in prison since 2011, homie. And you could ask my wife to this day. I'm still affected by prison, homie. I still got, fucked up shit from prison that I deal with to this day, homie. I can't even be normal out here because society don't take that shit off your neck, bruh. You're still labeled that shit from 20 years back, bro. You're still gonna have that shit on your neck. This fool's gonna have to deal with that shit. You know why motherfuckers go through that revolving door? Why people go back to the penitentiary is because when you get out here and you try to do good and every door shut in your motherfucking face, you go back to what you know. You go back to that street life, what you're comfortable with. And if you don't have the willpower to actually separate and really do something for yourself, you're always going to be in a revolving door, bro. Luckily, I have support. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of support out here from people. Luckily, I have support. And that's the reality, man. I hope everybody's blessed, man. Happy Friday. Happy to everybody that pulled up. I'm just chilling. I thought we would go because somebody asked me to do a reaction video on this. I wanted to chop it up, see what you guys thought about it. Let me put if anybody wants to come up, y'all are more than welcome to come up. I'll stay on here for a little bit more. I chopping it up with the community. I just thought that was interesting, man, because it's just like, I don't know, bro. My thing is like, if you don't talk about these things and you don't talk about these and try to give some insight on what it is, you're not doing your job. But if you do give some insight, people tend to think that you're trying to get clout. You're trying to get respect. You're trying to get some shine off their name. It's an interesting aspect, man. But we gotta say, fuck it, bro. We can't be worried about all that shit. You know, can't be worried about that shit. You know, I don't know, man. I see this generation and the generation coming up, man. The future is fucked off. It really is, man. And it's getting worse and worse and worse. You know, it's getting worse for youngsters coming up because the things that people are allowing nowadays, homie, it's just a circus, bro. It's a circus. It's a circus out here. The streets is a circus, homie. There's no more reality in the streets where it's like, hey, this is really actually what it is. Nowadays, it's a big ass circus and a gang of clowns, you know, running out here with their heads cut off. And all the OG homies, they kind of de-energized to say anything to the youngsters because the youngsters don't want to listen. But then again, a lot of the older homies, they kind of just gave up on a lot of shit too. They're like, nah, I ain't got no energy to talk to the young homies no more. I ain't got no energy to actually take you out there and actually give any advice to the young homies. Nobody's teaching, homie. I think it's good that you're trying to get these young cats to understand this shit is real life. I knew your mind state that compared to now. If anyone knows, it's you, homie. Yeah, Moe, salute. You know, the reality, bro, and I always talk about this, homie. If I could have went down a different aspect, I would have went down a different road for myself. Because, you know, when I was growing up, bro, it was like, that's all we actually had. That's all we had. Everything was that. Every ounce was that. So we rode for what we had. And it got deep. And the deeper it got, there was no going back again out of that shit. You know? And there was disciplinaries from the older homies and different things that was going on. See, it's not, there's no similarities no more to that shit, bro. And unfortunately, this little dude is young, man. He's gonna be doing time for a little minute, man. But Moe, salute to everybody. I just thought I would tap in, you know, say what's on my mind since somebody asked me to do this video. You know, I'm probably gonna tap out. I gotta go handle a couple different things. You know, but Moe, salute to everybody out there, man. God bless everybody. Happy Friday, you know. And to the next one, man. I'm gonna get at y'all. You know what it is.